Good morning, everyone. This is the third time I'm going to try to record this video. I'm having a small hardware problem recently. I don't know, it might be a software problem because the computer is still the same, the network is the same, the timing, everything has remained the same. But when I record a video, the sound quality of the video is having a lot of problems. So I've changed the software, and hopefully today is going to be the ultimate time we are going to have the video of the quality we used to have. So we've finished with this course already with the live class, and as I promised, as it used to be, I need to compile the video that you are going to use for offline for personal review. Yes, if you want to prepare when the time will come to prepare for the exam and so on, if you want to rewatch the video. So that's why I'm striving to have a video for us. So let me go straight. As I was saying, today's content is correcting the exercise, the homework I gave to you. So you have single choice questions. We are going to answer them with I will build a word file here. Dan选题，我先建一个 Word 文件啊，这里是单选题。好，字体大一点。好，不够大。行。好。Question number 1. Wait. If I want to clear the command window, what is the command I should send to Matlab? A. Clear. B. CLC. C. Erase. D. Clean. The answer for the question number 1 is B. Okay. From the command A equals to 1 15 8. What is the size of matrix A we are going to create on the Matlab? A. 8 lines, 15 columns. 15 columns, 15 lines. 50 lines, 8 columns. 8 lines, 8 columns. The answer here is 15 lines and 8 columns. The answer is C. Question number 3. Which one of the following Matlab variables names is not allowed? Happy 1, 20, image 1, voltage L3, cost phi. Obviously, the variable name not acceptable, as we have learned in our Matlab course. Here is B, 20, image 1. Question number 4. What is the mark to insert comments on Matlab? Is it B, A? Is it A, B, C, or D? The answer obviously here is B. 5. Yeah, the answer here is percent. 5. Considering that you have already created variables A and B, what will be the difference between these two commands when executing on Matlab? C equals to A and B, A times B. C equals to A times B with semicolon at the end. Question number A. Answer number A, no difference between the two commands. Question B. Error message in the first command and second command runs well. C. Error message in the second command and second command runs well. D. Second command will run faster than first command. The answer here is D, because the second command will not show the computing result as we have added semicolon at the end for Matlab to not show the result. But the first command will be slower. Still it will compute, but it will be slower because after computing it has to show the result. So the answer for the question number 5 is D. Let me save it. We never know. Okay. Question 6. Writing a help. Okay. Where to write the help content from a function you create on Matlab. A. We write a help content. B. We add comment under the declaration line. C. It's impossible. D. Create the help file. Create the help in PDF file. The answer is add comments under the declaration line. Answer here is B, as we have studied in the class. Question number 7. What is the role of command help X in Matlab? A. Run X. B. Find the errors in X. C. Show the help content of X. D. Do nothing. The answer here is C. Show the help content of X. 8. What is the role of the subplot command on Matlab figures? A. Don't close the figure. B. Divide the figure into many. C. Close the figure. D. Open a new figure. The role of the subplot command for Matlab figures is to divide the figure into many. So the answer here is B. Okay. To resume, question number 1, the answer is B. Question number 2, the answer is C. Question number 3, the answer is B. Question number 4, answer is B. Question number 5, answer is D. Number 6, B. 7, C. 8, B. We're done with single choice. 单选题啊，做完了。好，那填空题哦 this I can close it because I opened it only for single choice questions. Now,填空题. What is the meaning of the word Matlab? Oh, I think we still need this. Oh, not question number 9, but填空题. Okay. Question number 1. What is the meaning of the word Matlab? Matlab means matrix laboratory. Matrix laboratory. Question number 1. Now, what is the default color of error messages on Matlab? Error messages or the default color of error messages on Matlab is red. If you didn't change, when you install Matlab, the error messages will come under the color red. If I want to ask Matlab to tell me more about the command size, what should I input as a command in the command window? If I want to know more about the command size, what I will ask Matlab is help. No need this size. That's all. Then Matlab will come and give me some help about the command size. 4. Oh, no. Okay, 4. If I want to create a matrix of size mn filled with ones and show the computing result, what command should I input? I want to create a matrix of size mn all filled with ones and show the computing result. The command that we put will be ones of size m, considering that we have created m and n of size m and n. Will I add this? No, because if I add this, I will not show the computing result. We have to show the computing result, so we don't need to add this semicolon. We keep it like this. Okay. Among the following words, which one is forbidden as a variable name? Variable 1, crop 231, variable 2, power fact, variable 3, recompute mean, variable 3, ANS, variable 4, output 1. The variable name that's not permitted to be used on the Matlab here is ANS, as this variable is self-produced by Matlab every time you don't create your own variable and when some result has to be saved. So if you create your variable with such a name, it will unceasingly be updated every time Matlab is in a need to save some computation result somewhere. Okay, question number 6. From here we will create M files. So I can save this and close it. So for question number 6, we will create an M file. And then create a vector of the even whole numbers between 31 and 75. We create the vector y, then y equals to even numbers. Definitely we're going to start with the first even number after 31, as 31 itself is not an even number. 我们要建一个 y 矩阵，然后偶数的从31到35到75，从31到75，那就是31本自己是计数的 那我们从32开始we start from 32 and then the next one is 2 steps after 32, that means 34, and the next is 36, that means we need to walk from 32 step 2 up to 75. Yeah, if you want, we can put the brackets. If we want, okay, Matlab says no need, maybe. Okay, we just write it like this. I will save it. I will give it a name. Tian Kong Ti Liu. 保存在我们这个工作文件夹填空题6 Question number 2. Okay, let x be this. 直接输入这一行这个就不用去考虑，直接输入它Okay. Add 16 to each element and save in a variable called a. We add 16 to each element of x, then a equals to 6. Okay, maybe x plus 16. Not that difficult. 如果我们想确认一下这个是不是对我们可以在 command window 运行一下。We can check it on command window. We run this command first and then we run this one. A equals to x plus 16. First element of x is 2 plus 16, 18. Second, 5 plus 16, 21. Third, 1 plus 16, 17. Fourth, 6 plus 16, 22. It works. 这个就对了Now, add 3 to just the odd index elements and save in a variable b. 就选择 x 里面的基数然后加3那就 b 等于x 的所有基数 odd elements. We start of course from 1 step 2 to the end, to the last. Matlab 可以直接写 n. We can directly enter n like this. Matlab will understand that we are trying to take up to the last element of x. And then we add 3. If we want to make sure the command runs well, we can copy it, paste on the command window, and then compute. X is 2516. Now the odd index elements are index number 1, index number 3. Index number 1 is 2 plus 3, 5. Index number 3 is 1 plus 3, 4. So we write question number 5. Compute the square root of each element of x and save in a variable c. 平方根 c equals to square root of x. Does it work? We can try. C equals to square root x. It works. We have x, we have c. X is 2516, square root 2 1.4142, square root 5 is this, square root 1 is 1, square root 6 is this, so it works. Question number 6. Compute the square of each element and save in variable d. Now we need to compute the square of each element. We are going to compute the square of each element. Each element of x? Are we going to compute x times x? It won't work because for matrix computation, the matrix product requires that the number of columns for this x should be equals to the number of lines of this x for this operation to be computable. 必须左边的这个列数等于右边的这个行数才能这样计算两个矩阵。The question here is the square of each element. The square of each element. So that means here we are going to compute element by element square. Each element of x multiplied by the same element to build another matrix. That will be D. So just that. We can try to show x and D. First element of x is 2. D is the square of each element of x. That means the first element of D is 2 times 2, 4. Second is 5 times 5 is 25. Third is 1 times 1, 1. 6 is 6 times 6, 36. So D is normally computed as D equals to x element-wise multiplication multiplied by x. We're done. So now we can even run this file. As we have already checked line after line, it works, so we know it works. If we want to show the computing result, maybe here we can first clear the command window, and then when we create all these, we can show them. We can remove the semicolons to show the computing result, and then we run the file. So here we created y from 32 to 74. We created x, we created a, we created b, we created c, we created d. Okay, so we are done with question number 6. Now question number 7. Create a folder and put the M80 file provided in. The M80 file is this one. You need to download it and put in your created folder. Launch Matlab and set your current directory to the folder you just created. Now, first, this is to prepare your working environment. It's already done. The file is file for practice. That's the file here. And this is my current working folder. So we load the content of the given file on Matlab workspace. I will do it all in an M file. First, I need to load the content of the file. I will just put the file name, file for practice M80. I will directly save it under the name Tian, or no, so let me, okay, week 5 Tian County T okay, I write it like this. Then on this one, let me update the name too. It's not a function, so I can change the name as I want. Week 5. Okay. This command will load. Okay, let's clear everything here and clear the command window. I think we need to place these two commands here also. We first clear everything there, and then we CLC, and then we start. What does this command do? I copy it, I try to execute it here. It will load the content of this file onto the workspace, as you can see here. Okay. Now, when it's loaded, use the Matlab command subplot to plot the content of the file, each column for one plot. We will use subplot, as we can see. This file that is given to us here is a file of 333,334 lines with 4 columns. So we need to use subplot to plot the content of the file, and each column is used for one plot. So we have already answered, what does the subplot command do? This command 这个 subplot 命令它是有什么作用等一下，这个看看是不是，看看现在才想去加入这个 QQ 群啊，你们记得改名，都说了，不改名了就开除那干这个的改名。Everyone should write down his name according to the requirement I have set. If you don't abide, I will just remove you from the group. We need to clearly know who is in the group, name and student ID number. Okay, come back to the course. Where were we? We need to plot each column here on one plot. So we said the subplot command is going to divide the figure into many. How does it work? If on Matlab I type the command figure, it will open a figure like this, and then the next plot command I will enter, I will run. If I want to plot a variable x, this plot is going to draw the x variable on the last open figure, and this is the last open figure. If I want to subdivide this figure into many, I will use subplot. And then I will use subplot. Then I will create. I will specify. 我要跟 Matlab 说我要分的这个图要分成多少行多少列的图I have to tell Matlab through this subplot how many figure lines I want to create and how many columns I want to create. So the first number is the lines, the second number is the columns, and then I will tell which figure number I'm going to open. Okay, 3 lines. No, my screen is wider. So 2 lines, 3 columns, and then open maybe figure number 4. Because we know if we create 2 lines, if we divide a figure into 2 lines and 3 columns, we have in total 2 times 3, 6 sub images 啊。如果我们分成2行3列的图，我们总共会有2乘3 6张小图，1张大图，然后里面分成6张小图啊，然后这个是图号，我们就打开第4张图啊。So we creating using this subplot a figure divided into 2 lines and 2 rows and 3 columns, and we opening figure number 4. What does it mean in reality? That's that. Here we have created a figure, and this figure is going to be divided into 2 lines. The first line is here, the second line is here, and it's going to be divided into 3 columns. This is the first column, the second column, the third column is going to be here. So that means when we said we're going to open figure number 4 and then it opened this, what does it mean? 我们决定了要建立一个2行3列的图，然后打开第4张图，然后再打开了这个。为什么呢？因为分了后，我们从左上角往左边算到反正一行一行从左到右，一行一行算到右下角。We count the figure numbers from the first line to the last line, counting from left to right. So here you see we have divided this figure into 2 lines and 3 columns, and then we said we open figure number 4 and it opened this. What does it mean? We have here figure number 1 that's going to be placed here, figure number 2 still the first line and second column, figure number 3 is going to be here, and this is figure number 4. So if we try to open figure number 2, I just said figure number 2 is going to be here. What we do is we still come here, and on this 2 lines and 3 columns figure, we open figure number 2, and then it opens here. It opens here. So let's see if we want to open the figure here 如果我们要打开这个图，我们这里1 2 3 4 5 6 the figure here is going to be figure number 6. We will just subplot on the 2 line 3 columns the figure number 6, and then we will have this open here. So return back to our exercise. Here use the Matlab command subplot to plot the content of the file, each column for one plot. What do? We already loaded it, and then when we loaded it, the file that comes is this file. The variable actually is not a file, and then we need to plot it using subplot. As is 4 columns 4列，我们就要在一张图分4个小图。那4个小图我们可以1行4列，1列4行，或者2行2列。We can divide into 1 line 4 columns, 1 column 4 lines, or 2 lines 2 columns. That's going to be anyway. I think I prefer, not going to be how, I prefer 2 lines 2 columns. So we're going to subplot on a 2 lines 2 columns we're going to plot every columns of this variable. So we start from the first one, in which we're going to plot the first column of this variable, all the lines, and column number 1 are soil hang if we want to make sure this command works, we go on like this and we run it. We have 2 lines that are going to be created, and 2 columns, and we already plot the first column here. So I'm lazy. What I will do is I just copy this. The second figure is going to plot the second column of the variable. The third figure is going to plot the third column of the figure. The fourth figure is going to plot the fourth column of the variable. That's all. And then we already can run this to see what it does. You see, first column, second, third, and fourth. This file actually is from experiments, transients experiments on power network 这个文件是从一个仿真展态一个网站一个电网仿真展态，然后这个是3相的波形it's a 3-phase voltage network, and this is a simulation of a direct short circuit, 3 phases short circuit with this time, this is the time of the experiment. You see it like this here because it's just the time itself is a linear sampling time. So this is what we've got at this point. Here, the third question: plot the content variable on 4 different figures, each column for 1 plot. Here we are being asked to plot again the content of the same variable but on 4 different figures. 现在要我们在4个不同的图还是画这个文件里面的波形What we have to pay attention on here is that we don't have to close or update anything on the plot created with up to this point, up to this line, using this subplot command. So what we do is we will create another figure like this, in which we're going to plot everything we want to. So each plot on 1 figure. So we plot this one here. We know this command already works, so we just do it like this. We create another figure and then we plot the second column. We create another figure, we plot another the third column, we create again the last figure, and then we plot the fourth column. We run. We will have 5 figures, as you can see. The last figure created here. This is the fourth column. This is the third column. This is the second column, and this is the first column. And then this is the plot created with subplots. The plot created up to this level. That's it. And then the 4 other plots are here. We can even change. Okay guys, so we can decide that this plot is going to be in black color, and then this plot This plot is going to be in red color, and then we put this one in blue color, and then why not maybe this one in green. This one we put it in green. Okay, and then we run again. Here we create a lot of figures. No, that's not good. We clear everything. We clear the command window. We also close all the figure. Yes. Then we run. Okay, we have 5 figures. The last created is the first we see. We said it is in green. That's it. And then the next is blue. This one, this, and then the next is red. This, and then the next is black. This, and then we are on the first figure created from top to here. This one. Okay. So this is all that is required on question number 7. So question number 8. Create a Matlab function. We don't need this. We close them. We create a Matlab function. Your function takes 3 inputs variables. We create a Matlab function. When we create a function, the first name of the first executable line on our function file is function. And then it is said this function only takes 3 input variables. So we have to provide a function name here as we don't have outputs. Function file here is going to be, okay, week 5. Conti ba function. Okay. It takes 3 variables, 3 input variables. We call them X, Y, and Z. Okay, we save directly. Function name shouldn't be changed when we create them. So I keep this function name as the file name. Now, when it takes the 3 inputs, it will compute the size of each input variable. We compute the size of each input variable. We will use them, so we better put them in some we create variables and put the result of line and columns inside. We say line number of line is M, number of columns is N. Okay, for each variable we start with X, number of line of X, number of columns of X equals to size X. Okay, now we continue with Y, number of lines of Y, number of columns of Y is size Y. If we finish with Z, MZ, NZ equals to size Z. Okay. Now, if an input X is a 1-line matrix, compute its transform. Now, 如果一个input 是一行的，我们转它变成一列啊。If we have 1 line, because those actually are vectors. If they are 1 line, we transform them into 1 column. So what we do here is we check the number of lines. If the number of lines is 1, transform. If not, keep it the way it is. If mx equals to 1, then x is transformed. That's all. we do the same with y and z. If my equals to 1, then y becomes its transform. Is mz equals to 1, then z becomes its transform. Okay, now the function should plot the three variables in the same figure. Now we need to plot the three variables in the same figure. The way to do it is we plot the first one, we plot x, and then we ask to Matlab to hold the figure on until we release it. So on the same figure, we will plot again y, and then we plot z, and then we release. That's all. So at this point, this is what we do to answer this question. At the end of all computations, save all the generated data in a variable called myData. When we finish, we save everything. We save everything in a variable. We save everything in a variable called myData. That's all what is being asked in this first part. But we have some warnings here. We didn't use number of columns, so instead of overusing the computer's memory for nothing, we can just decide as Matlab not to compute them. Even computed, save them nowhere. This is the way to tell Matlab we don't need this variable. Now our function is completed, but we cannot run it because the function needs some input variables. We need to provide the input variables before we can run the function, because if we try to click run here, it will tell us we did not provide enough input arguments to this function, as the function needs to operate on variables. So the question is not yet completed. We haven't finished. The second part of the question: create a Matlab script. Another file is going to be created. M file. Create a Matlab script. The script should send three variables v221a, 221b, 221c to the function. Where are those from? Just here, v like that. These are extracted from the MAT file provided. So we have a second MAT file here. We better first delete this one. Clear. Okay, the second MAT file is this. Okay, we have in this file we have these things. So we need to load it first. We need to load CAP2. It's also a file generated from computer experiments, computer simulations of power network. As you can see, this is the time, this is the voltage on line A, voltage on line B, voltage on line C at the node 22. So we will load, and then when we load, we will have these things, these variables, and then we send them. The script should send the variables to the function we created. This is the function. The name is a bit weird, so I better copy it to avoid writing avoid mistakes. So we send x, y, and z. We will say, okay, I will just copy as I know they will exist. 我直接在这里复制啊，然后放这里。Okay, I send them to the function. And then when the function will finish computing, we here will compute DIFF. It's also only a formula. We will compute the differences between all the inputs. And then, after computing all the differences, we will plot T in the x-axis and DIFF in the y-axis in a different figure without closing the figure generated by the function. So we better, to make sure we are not going to make some we are not going to impact what has already been done in the function, we will create our own figure, and then we will plot T as x and DIFF, this one just created. Okay, we save it under the name, yes, week 5 Tien Kong T Ba 8 script. Okay. Now, if we want to make sure all this is running, one thing to do, we run this function and this script, and then it will call this function. And we said the function should plot the 3 variables in the same figure and save everything in my data. When we save, we should have the file here. And then this one will plot, okay, here we have one plot and here we have one plot also. So these two running will give us 2 figures. Okay, figure number 2, this is DIFF and T. Figure number 1 created by the function. When we create a function using hold, like when we create a plot using hold like here, Matlab will decide himself to change the colors of each plot to make them different, to make them look different. We could decide ourselves to change the colors, but that will not change a lot, but it will help us know which plot is from which point. We can say this one is black color, and then we say this one is green color, and then we say this one is blue color, like this. We save the function, we run the script again. Oh wait, we need to close everything. When we start the script, we better close everything. We close all the figures, we delete all the variables, and we clear the command window. Okay, we save already, then we run. Okay, this is the last figure, and this is the figure created by the function. We can also decide to change this color. Did we say this one is not a good color? We don't care, we just decide to change the color. We plot it in red. Now we run again. This is the red plot, and this is the plot generated by the function. Okay, so that's all for question number 8. And in the meantime, that's all for the whole exercise for week 5. I hope you guys will watch again this video and do it at home as a homework. And this week, actually this is the content of last week. We already have this class. We already spent this correction time. I'm just remaking the video. As I told you, my computer was having some small problems. So hopefully this time the video is acceptable. And see you in 2 days because we have class on Thursday. 我们后天上课哦，今天是我们上周上的内容。只是我电脑出一点问题了，我也不知道是为什么。希望这一次录的视频的是好一点的。行，那希望你们也在宿舍也做了这个作业啊，有空如果这个视频成功做好了，上传后你们也可以在线重新看。好的，see you 后天啊，后天见。See you on Thursday. Anyway, for the first course on SIMULINK. Before then, take good care of yourself. Bye bye.